Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel where we fans of football have a say and where we learn the history of this amazing sport. Before we move on, please like this video, share it, subscribe or follow me while you're commenting down below. Today I want us to take a look on 10 worst tragic moments that happened in the stadiums around the world where it resulted in many fans of losing their lives. I'm going to count this tragedy starting from number 10. Going down to number 1, which is the worst to ever happen in the stadiums. 10 worst tragedies to ever happen in stadiums during soccer matches. Number 10. The Ellis Park Stadium disaster was the worst sporting accident in South African history where, on 11 April 2001, spectators poured into the Ellis Park Stadium in the city of Johannesburg, Gauteng, South Africa, for the local Soweto Derby Association football match between Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates, crushing 43 people to death. There was a 60,000 capacity crowd in the stadium, but reports suggest a further 30,000 more fans were trying to gain entry to the stadium. Reports also suggest that 120,000 fans were admitted into the stadium. An Orlando Pirates equalizer sparked a further surge by the fans trying to gain entry as they scrambled to see what had happened. As the crowd surged to gain seats and see the pitch, they overspilled into press boxes. As the stampede pressed forward, 43 people were crushed to death. Apparently untrained security guards firing tear gas at the stampeding fans exacerbated the situation and may have been the cause of some of the deaths. The South African Police Department denies these claims. The final inquiry into the incident concluded that a major cause was bribed security personnel admitting fans without tickets into the stadium and poor crowd control. When it became apparent what had happened, the match was halted and the crowd was dispersed. The bodies were laid out on the pitch for identification and medical attention, but none were revived. Number 9. Bradford City Stadium disaster. The incident took place on May 11, 1985. One of the silliest mishaps occurred at Bradford City when a fan threw a cigarette down the terrace where garbage was kept. His cigarette dropped on the pile of garbage, sparking a fire. The flames burned more quickly when the garbage was set under the wooden stand which had been kept there for 20 years. The fire started spreading all over the terrace, the wooden roof turned into tar and started falling on fans who were in the stands below. This led to the deaths of nearly 56 fans and 450 casualties. Number 8. The 2nd Division Ibrox disaster, which happened in the 2nd of January 1971. Another terrifying disaster occurred when the Scottish League hosted one of the league's big games, with Rangers playing Celtic and the latter having the match in hand. This prompted Rangers fans to leave the stadium. However, as the fans attempted to leave, a huge barrier on the stairway formed, trapping them, killing 66 fans and hurting 200 others. It is too bad that, sadly, Ibrox was no stranger to tragedy, as back in 1902, some 25 people had been killed when wooden terracing collapsed during a Scotland vs England game, a disaster in its own right which would lead to greater ground improvements at the aging stadium in an attempt to prevent the same thing happening again. But ironically, the changes actually led to a more dangerous football stadium, as rotting wooden terraces were replaced by vast concrete structures capable of holding far more people, though not necessarily able to cope with the consequences, something which was highlighted in 1961 when 2 Rangers fans were killed following a crush on a staircase. Terrible indeed. Number 7. Puerta 12 tragedy, which happened June 23, 1968. This tragedy occurred during one of Argentina's most heated rivalries, Boca Juniors and River Plate. Although this time, it was unrelated to a match. The group of fans was heading towards the exit gate after full time, which was closed, causing both fans to collide as spectators in front were crushed against the gates by fans behind them who couldn't see the gate was closed. This took the lives of 71 spectators and injured a large number of others. Number 6. Port Said Stadium disaster, February 1, 2012. This was one of the most tragic deaths of football fans, and many teams condemned the fans who engaged in violent behavior during this game. Many football fans remember when Al Mary and Al Ali played each other, and the former 1-3-1. This caused an outbreak between Masri and Ali fans, as Masri fans swarmed over to the rival fans carrying knives, bottles, and swords, killing 79 people and injuring over 1,000. Horrible behavior by fans of the beautiful game. Horrible. We are halfway now. Number 5. The Hillsborough disaster, April 15, 1989. This incident disturbed many English people, particularly Liverpool legend Steven Gerrard, and was regarded as one of the scariest disasters in English history. It happened when Liverpool played Nottingham Forest in an FA Cup match, and thousands of Fans were waiting outside the stadium for the gates to open. When the police opened the gates, a stampede ensued, killing at least 96 people, one of whom was Gerard's cousin. Number 4. The Guatemala disaster, October 18, 1996. Many fans wanted to see their country play in the stadium in a World Cup qualifying match. As Costa Rica and Guatemala were pitted against each other, many ticketless fans tried forcing their way into the stadium, causing a deadly stampede. During the match that killed nearly 80 people and injured 180 fans. Number 3. The Ghana disaster, May 9, 2001. Accra Sports Stadium experienced one of the worst days in Ghana's sporting history when two big clubs of the Ghana League, Hearts of Oak and Asante Kotoko, crossed paths. Police fired tear gas on the stands, causing a terrible uproar and unrest in the stadium. With 70,000 fans trying to get out of the stadium at once, 126 people died and plenty were injured. Number 2. Indonesia Stampede disaster, October 2, 2022. Many believed that football had evolved and that enough precautions were taken to prevent such mishaps. However, the Indonesia Stampede proved them all wrong. The tragic incident took place in an Indonesia game as Area FC's loss to bitter rivals triggered many fans to get on the pitch, resulting in a terrifying stampede. The stampede transpired when police used tear gas on the fans who had invaded the pitch. As things worsened, many fans fled to the Kanjuruhan Stadium's exits, where many spectators were suffocated, killing 125. Many fans clambered over the fences to escape and many dead bodies were on the floor, according to social media clips. Before we get to number 1, please don't forget to like, share and comment on this video. Number 1. The National Stadium disaster, May 24, 1964. The National Stadium disaster continues to haunt many fans who went to watch the Argentina vs Peru Game 2 of South America's most ambitious countries at Lima's National Stadium. The match was already tense because both countries were vying for an Olympic spot. Everything was fine until Peru was disallowed 2 goals, which sparked a physical protest from Peru fans on the field that further turned violent, killing 318 people and injuring 500. We've reached the end of the video. I hope and pray that everyone continues to be safe while going to the stadium to watch soccer or other sports. Thank you for watching. I love you.